This is Clinton Tim here with another coffee chat, and this can be a pretty short one, but a very important coffee chat. Today, folks, we're going to talk about a concept called transactional wallets. All right, now that's a phrase you may or may not be familiar with. Tim, you and I have talked about this quite a bit, haven't we? With the big picture and exchanges and decentralized wallets.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it would be good to start off by explaining what exactly transactional wallet is so that everyone's on the same page.
Absolutely, yeah. And basically, we define, and I think a lot of people define, a transactional wallet is one that you're going to use for your daily transactions, whether you're going to go, buy something, whether it's at an online merchant or buy some advertising, or whether you're going to get paid commissions via crypto. You want to have those commissions and those purchases done through a decentralized wallet. You've all heard the phrase that says, not your coins, and I mean, not your keys, not your coins. In other words, you're the only one that controls that. And you followed that advice pretty much your whole crypto life, right, Tim?
Yes, I do have two different types of exchanges. I use Binance for, the majority of my holdings, but I don't use Binance to buy advertising with ITB. I use something like Atomic or Exodus. It's just so much easier to do it. The giants, they're getting quite restrictive on a lot of things, and they want to know where it's going and what's happening with it, and especially in the US where you are.
And it's really scary. And what prompted this? We were going to do a discussion of this anyway, but a good friend of mine had kind of a scary situation with Coinbase where they temporarily are pausing his ability to make purchases with a credit card. And this person has been with Coinbase over 10 years. And as he dug into it, he found out that they were questioning where he was sending USDC and what he was doing with it. That is scary. Now, having a transactional wallet is not going to stop that, but it means that your money, if they decide to do anything or freeze anything, is away from their control. Okay. So again, a transactional wallet is a third party decentralized wallet where you hold the keys and it's your coins. Absolutely, you need to have an exchange. Coinbase, Gemini, Binance, there's all kinds of them out there. Yes, you need those, but I beg of you, do not make purchases online, do not accept commissions into an exchange because those companies are being scrutinized by their governments to make sure ostensibly there's no fraud going on, but it also gives them a chance to reach past their bounds, such as my friend with what he was doing with a few $100s of USDC. Okay. So we'll do another presentation on this, maybe with some slides and fancy stuff, but we wanted to get this out because it's super important. Now, Tim, what wallets did you say? You mentioned a couple of wallets. Which ones did you talk about?
Yeah, so I use Atomic and Exodus on a regular basis. I think I use Exodus more than Atomic. So what I would do is I have my USDT or my Bitcoin in Binance. I send it to Exodus, and then I buy my TPO advertising with ITB from Exodus. And one of the reasons, another reason that we might want to do that is, I don't know if you remember, but I found that sometimes if I was trying to buy with Binance, if you send the exact amount, Binance have this strange way of doing fees, and they would deduct a fee and then it wouldn't send through the correct amount, and that it would just sit there pending. And then I couldn't balance it. I couldn't add on because the minimum payment with Binance was like $10 or something, and it just wouldn't make the transaction go through. So it's much easier if you can use Atomic or Exodus. I mean, they're not the only two, but they're the two I use.
Yeah. That Tim, you bring up another point. Like I said, we'll probably do a nice fancy presentation here in the next month or two on this and have some bullet points in writing. But Tim, you bring up a brilliant point, and that is a lot of exchanges. They'll charge a little tiny goofy fee. Sometimes there's a delay for, compliance before they send it. Whereas if you're sending money from Atomic to buy, TPO5, it goes. All right. And it's that exact amount. There's no fees, etc. And the problem, listen carefully for those of you that are new, the problem is when you make a purchase with crypto, the wallet you're sending it to, the crypto exchange company is looking for an exact amount. So if you're sending 9,432 Satoshi, but there's a 47 Satoshi fee, the exchange, or excuse me, the processor is going to sit there and not process that. You sent it, it got received, but it's a couple of little tiny Satoshis short and it just sits there. And what happens? You have to send in a support ticket. Frank's assistant has to review it. Frank has to go in there and click the button to accept it. That's a whole lot of work. Don't do it. For all these reasons we've talked about, have your own transactional wallet that is yours, your keys, your coins. Pretty simple. Tim, thanks for bringing that up because that's another very, very good point about the fees. I know that I've had some, I know Coinbase doesn't do that, but Coinbase is annoying everybody. And there's other sites out there where there's a withdrawal fee and that gets in the way. And you got to try and figure that. Don't do it. Make your life simple. Have a transactional wallet. Good.
Right.
I think our short little coffee chat went a little bit longer.
Yeah, I was just going to add, just to make it a little bit longer, it's the same in reverse. So when I get my commissions from ITB,
Yes.
I don't send them to Binance. I send them to Exodus, which means I've also got money sat there or Bitcoin sat there for when I want to buy my next lot of advertising as well. And I don't have to send from Binance. So it's kind of separate from the people that do the inspections,
Yeah. Very, very, very smart. And having it sit over there, it's yours. I don't want to get into taxation and reporting, but if you get it into a decentralized wallet, they don't know. It's up to you what to do with it, how you report it. All I'm saying is that, it's your money. You decide what to do with it in your transactional wallet. Right? I think that's it. Anything else, Tim, we missed?
No, I think that's it. I think we've wrapped that one up nicely.
Good. Wonderful. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate it. Transactional wallet. Probably won't hear about it much anywhere else other than Infinity Traffic Boost, but we're doing our best to always look out for you, your best interest. And we're looking forward to coming up with some more ideas. And if you've got any suggestions on what you'd like to learn about in crypto or with ITB, let us know. Put a little suggestion here below this video. Let us know what you think. And of course, always, always like this video and make sure you and your team subscribe. Anything else, Tim?
And comment.
And comment. Good stuff. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one. We look forward to talking to you in the next coffee chat. Thanks, everyone.